Jamie was playing softball
This is
when I
my,
was
yeah.
in my relapse. It was like a Saturday morning. I had come in Friday night from the East Coast. I get off the plane. I'm always drunk when I get off the plane
Oh,
on
yeah.
Friday night. So the next day she has her game in the morning. I don't know what time. I don't remember anything about the game. All I remember is how sick I was.
And I can tell you that my side of this, because this is, as a kid who grew up, one, he was sober, and I don't think I ever really understood fully what he did for a job. Like I said, we would run around that place.
He worked at a resort.
Right, that's right. He worked at a resort with a
resort
lot of
manager.
angry people walking around. That's as far as I knew. And he ran hospitals. That's kind of how they explained it to me. But I vividly, and keep in mind, like, I was daddy's girl. We would go, again, he was sober, so he was the best dad ever. But I vividly remember my mom and I driving on I-35 on a Friday night to go pick him up from the airport. And it was literally, I think, my mom she had the biggest cell phone. It was like the Zach Morris phone, because that was the first cell phone.
Yeah.
And he had
With the antenna
That's
on.
right. We had to pull the antenna
Yep.
up. And she even, because she was driving, told me, the phone's ringing, answer it. And so I answered her cell phone, and it was him calling from a payphone. He said, let me talk to your mom. There was no like, hi, I love you. How you doing? He said, let me talk to your mom. I was like, okay. So I hand mom the phone, and apparently he let her know, or she knew, whether he was honest with her, I don't know. But all I know is that she just kind of, said a word under her breath, and we exited and you'd back around to head home. And I said, Mom, what are you doing? And she said, Dad's been traveling and he doesn't feel very well, and he doesn't want to get you sick before your games tomorrow. So he's just going to stay in the hotel that's by the airport, and then he'll meet us at your game tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And I remember stepping out of the dugout that morning and watching him get out of a cab wearing, like, it's like the most cliche, sorry, but it was thing, like, in, Friday's work clothes, and looking just disheveled and sick with his,
Horrible.
suitcase and his briefcase, and walking up to my Saturday morning softball game and just looking at him. And he gave me a big hug and everything. But I mean, that was the first time I think I really understood the difference between and I had friends whose parents drank and whatever else, but we never saw the aftermath. You only see the fun party dad while you're at dinner or while you're at an event or whatever else. And so that was my first experience of like what a hungover sick person really looks like. And luckily for us, it didn't last that long. And I think between busy lifestyles and other things going on in our life, they did a pretty good job of keeping it from me. That's the only real memory I have that like stands out of like, what the heck? That's never been my dad. My dad's always been the first one to drop me off at practice or at games or whatever else. So
And that's when you realized he wasn't perfect.
well, that's right. And that's true. I mean, really, because up until then, that was my guy, and he still is. But you know, it's like, yeah, you have those moments.
I never made amends to you for that.
Well,
sweetie,
here we are.
I'll try to make it up to you.
Okay,
I'll
perfect.
do better.
Perfect.
So my new sobriety date is March 1st of 97.
Okay.